So I got this message directly from Nishankar TV. And yeah, when you get a message like that from Nishankar TV, the man, the legend himself, you make the video. So that's what I'm doing here right now. We're going to go over all 20 teams involved in the T20 2024 World Cup. And I'm going to give you my predictions on how they're going to do in the group stage. I'm assuming there's 5-team groups with 4 games apiece. So I'll give you what I think their record might be. That's nothing to say about the Super 8s just yet. Baby steps. But yeah, let's get into it right now. So I'm going to start with the top teams first, and unfortunately I'm going to have to start with Australia. These guys again. And I'm still not over the 2023 ODI World Cup win from Australia, but I mean, they deserved it. I heard some people saying that Australia was cheating or they didn't deserve it. They absolutely deserve they're world class. Just doesn't make me like them better. So I think the biggest concern for Australia is what kind of turnover they have. This is something as a new fan I'm not aware of as much as you guys are, but like how much of this ODI squad will play on the T20 squad. I think that will be a big indicator of how well they do in this tournament. So I'm predicting that Australia will go 4 wins and 0 losses. They are going to kick ass in the group stage of this tournament. All right, next. England. Okay, I'm going to go with England, the inventor of cricket, the inventor of T20 cricket as well, and also a team that just embarrassed themselves like crazy in the ODI World Cup. I mean, England are in real trouble, and let's just see how they do in these upcoming series that they have, and that'll be a good indicator of if they can bounce back and get some wins and hopefully boost their morale. And so like England right now is starting an ODI series with the West Indies, which makes no sense to me. On a side note, as a fan, like you just finished the World Cup of ODIs, you should be preparing for the T20 World Cup, but you're playing an ODI against a team who didn't even qualify for the ODI World Cup. Like, why? Why is that happening? I know it's a history of the sport and everything, but it just doesn't make sense to me. We'll go 1 win and 3 losses. I don't think they're going to recover from this fully. India. So I'm reminded of 2007 when India flunked out of the ODI World Cup, and it was this big thing, a massive backlash from fans, and then they go on the same year to win the T20 World Cup. Even though India reached the finals in 2023, it still feels like an agonizing disappointment for them. And can you blame them? I mean, the fans for that matter? How much of the India ODI team will be on this T20 squad? India has an insane amount of depth. And I think with the coming Indian Premier League, you're going to see a lot of new Indian players, and hopefully some of those players can make it on the T20 squad. I think they need to change things around a little bit, but overall they're in really good shape to do really well in this tournament. I predict that India will go 4 wins and no losses. Okay, next, the Netherlands, the best official ICC member that isn't actually an official ICC member. I mean, what are they waiting for in making this an official test nation? Netherlands deserve it. I mean, they did not qualify for the 2025 ODI tournament, the trophy tournament. I forget the name of it, but I mean, they deserve it. They got 2 wins in the ODI World Cup. They made a lot of games close. I mean, they did get destroyed certain games, but I think they'll do really well in this tournament, especially with the smaller format. A lot of their weaknesses get exposed in the ODI format that won't get exposed in this T20 format. And I really like, all-rounders like Big Boss Man Delita, Max O'Dowd, as well as Scott Edwards and the rest of the team that pretend that they're Dutch for the remainder of the tournament. But yeah, I mean, I like the team. I predict that they will go 3 wins and 1 loss. Next, New Zealand. This is like Australia's Canada, and so I don't have much to say to them. Hopefully New Zealand will have the likes of Adam Milner, Tim Southey, Rachin Ravindra, Glenn Phillips. I think New Zealand's going to be a really, really strong team for this. Just like Australia, incredibly dangerous, and they did make the semifinals of the ODI World Cup. So I think that New Zealand will finish 3 wins and 1 loss in this group stage. And then next is Pakistan. I mean, Pakistan will be no doubt looking to make amends for their bigger than India disappointment in the last World Cup. I mean, who knows what captain will be the head of this team, how they'll recover. But one thing is for sure, stop making this Pakistani boy cry. Why are you doing this, Pakistan? Come on, it's your own people. Now, the Pakistan Cricket Board is taking things very seriously, hopefully for the T20 World Cup, and they're telling players that they need to prioritize their country over club, and they're denying players play franchise cricket who are signed for the Pakistani cricket. I don't know how this will affect their T20 chances in any way, but Pakistan clearly have to do things differently than they did last year. I think the Pakistanis bowling bowlers specifically will benefit from the shorter format. I think a lot of them got exposed and are more comfortable with the T20 game. So I think Pakistan will do really well in this tournament. I predict that they'll go 3 wins and 1 loss in the group stage. South Africa. I know we have some South African fans that follow this channel, and I appreciate you guys. I'm sure you'll be excited for my take on South Africa. And South Africa has a ton of depth, meaning they have a lot of players to choose from. Kagiso Rabada is my favorite on the team. Marco Jensen, Quinton de Kock are huge for this squad. So if you have someone like Quinton de Kock getting hot, he's going to be really, really hard to stop. And I know that there's issues with Temba Bavuma's captaincy. Who knows who will be the captain for South Africa, but regardless, huge depth. I think they have really good chances. That's why I'm predicting they go 3 wins and 1 loss. Sri Lanka is my next team, and just Sri Lanka needs to channel the energy of Lasith Malinga and light a fire under their asses. They were just also suspended in November by the ICC, right? So I don't know much about what's going to happen with Sri Lanka, if they're going to keep it at 19 teams, let Sri Lanka back in. Sri Lanka, God, I can't talk. I just got home from work. That's my excuse. Sri Lanka. I don't know what's going to happen to them. But if another Asian team has to qualify and take their place, that might be interesting. I have no prediction for them because I don't even know if they're going to be in the tournament, to be honest. Afghanistan. What's not to love about Afghanistan other than the fact that they don't have a women's team and they can't play home games in their home country? Yeah. I mean, I really should be mad at Afghanistan for what they did, blowing a almost 100% sure win against Australia and making a hero out of Glenn Maxwell. Why, Afghanistan? Why? I mean, this guy could barely walk or even stand for that matter, and they just came back and beat you guys. That hurts. Almost worse than India losing in final. But Afghanistan made some pretty big wins in 2023. I mean, they should be taken seriously against every strong ICC member. So let's see how they do. I'm predicting they'll go 2-2 in the group stage. Bangladesh is the next one. And I don't have much to say about Bangladesh. I don't know much about them. My boy DK is from Bangladesh though, so I appreciate him. Although I think he's more of an India fan. But I just haven't seen them. They played a test against New Zealand, and they did pretty good in that. So I will just keep out a look for them and see how they do. My prediction is 2 wins and 2 losses. Okay, let's talk about the hosts. West Indies didn't qualify for the ODI World Cup. Many of their best players go play club cricket, and this is a problem. This is why Pakistan's saying, you know, you play for the country, not the club. But you have a lot of these West Indies players playing, you know, trash T10 cricket. I'm sure they're getting paid well. Anyway, Kyron Pollard is my favorite player from West Indies, possibly of any country. He's one of the first cricketers I actually knew about by name. And it's just cool to see a power hitter, such a strong power hitter, also know like strategy and fielding and take that seriously as a captain. It's just really cool. It's different. You don't see that in baseball. I don't know about the West Indies. I don't know. They could finish 4-0. They could finish 0-4. I have no idea. But the last T20 World Cup that they played, they finished butt naked last to teams like Ireland, Zimbabwe, and Scotland. Okay, butt naked last to 2 teams that are like the lowest of the low ICC members and a wannabe ICC member in Scotland or Scotland. So they're not in good shape. I don't think they're going to do good. 0-4. Don't hate me for that because I like West Indies. That's an American team. So I'm just being honest, okay? Just like my next one with USA, I'm going to be perfectly honest about the team. Next team, USA. And we just had a grueling ODI World Cup qualifying campaign that saw us handily losing every single game. We're about to embark on our first official major cricket tournament, full ICC members. Who's to say if we would have qualified had we not been hosts? I mean, it would have been us, Bermuda, and Canada for that spot. But regardless, we have a pretty good track record of beating Canada into submission. My prediction for the United States, 5 wins and 0 losses. We get an extra win because that's how good we are, okay? 5 wins. Deal with that, Australia. Okay, next we're going to go with Scotland. And they almost secured qualification in 2023 ODI, and they're on an upward trajectory. I really like Scotland. I think they remind me of Netherlands in a lot of ways. They're scrappy. They have a no-quit attitude. Scotland dominated the European T20 qualifiers with teams like Germany, Italy, Austria. I mean, it was to be expected, right? But they regularly beat Ireland on a consistent basis. And even though they beat Ireland and these really low European teams, how are they going to do with teams like Australia, New Zealand, and India? I think they're going to get smoked. They're going to get smoked. So I say 1 win and 3 losses for Scotland. Okay, next country is Ireland. Just take everything I said about the Netherlands, but just put it in reverse. So Ireland is an ICC member that shouldn't be an ICC member. They consistently disappoint me. Hell, the United States, we beat Ireland in 2021. I mean, man, what more do you need to say than that? Ireland has played a bunch of T20 international series since the 2022 World Cup, and they've lost every series. Sometimes they lose every game. They're just not game winners, okay? But personally, I feel a partial need to defend Ireland because my last name is Egan. I have ancestry from Ireland. Calm down, Irish people. I'm not going to ask you if you know my grandmother. Just chill out. It's not that important. But seeing how this is the European team that I support, they disappoint me greatly on a regular basis. I mean, I guess it's a perfect team for me. But regardless, Harry Tector, Andrew Balbirnie, Curtis Camphor, Mark Adair are really, really great. And the captain, one of my favorite cricketers, Paul Sterling, is absolutely solid when he gets hot in the bat. Great. So let's see how Ireland do. My prediction, 1 win, 3 losses. Okay, we're going to go to East Asia with Papua New Guinea. It looks like we're in a rugby league tournament. And even though they look brand new, they previously qualified in 2021. Now let's be honest. Papua New Guinea is going to get their ass handed to them on a silver platter. PNG has shown an ability to beat teams like Hong Kong, Malaysia, and Singapore, and that's it. This World Cup is like the first real test for them, and I don't think they're ready. I mean, they played Nepal, which is an almost official ICC member, in 2022, and just get crushed consistently by high-level associate member countries. So that's what's going to happen here. Get ready for the bloodbath. It's going to be 0 wins and 4 losses. Let's go to Canada. I mean, Bermuda looked really good. I was so happy for them. And then Canada schwaltzed their way in at the end and just stole it from Bermuda. I mean, Canada played okay in the qualifiers. They lost to Bermuda the first game. They beat all these other teams like Panama and I can't even remember, Cayman Islands. Really easy competition. And then they played Bermuda in the finals and just got lucky and won. But I don't even know how Canadians practice cricket in Canada, considering Canada is a frozen wasteland. Like, it is just freezing all the time. If you think about it, most Commonwealth countries are really good at cricket, except Canada. It's the one country that just lets you down, you know? So get used to it. But speaking honestly, I think Canada will get 1 win, 3 losses. Nepal. I just made a video about Nepal, so check it out in my video section. I think cricket in Nepal is going to explode. Again, I don't know much about the specific team, but I think Nepal has shown on a consistent basis that they can beat any associate member team that they come across with. Scotland, Netherlands, they are the favorites for any associate member nation. And I think they will surprise a lot of the official member nations too. So my prediction for Nepal is 2 wins, 2 losses, but I think they could even get 3 wins, 1 loss and go to the Super 8s. We'll see. Okay, let's go to Oman. Oman. Oman's motto should be, if you think Netherlands doesn't have any national players, get a load of us. I mean, I did a video on this, how many players are actually from Oman video, and none of them are born in Oman. None of the players. Some people have said this is like bad because, you know, it's just a bunch of borrowed players. Other people say, no, it's good for cricket in Oman because at least they're getting exposure. I don't know. I think that they're going to lose every game. It's going to be 0-4. So, all right, let's go to Africa for the final 2 teams. Namibia. This is like the Canadian South Africa. Sorry, I always compare stuff to like that. It's so similar to South Africa, but it's a different country. Anyway, so Namibia in Africa, they regularly beat all the associate members. They regularly beat the likes of Zimbabwe on the regular. They have a very, very impressive qualifying streak, you know, but they're not playing non-African teams on the regular, not having those T20 international series. So who knows? I think they'll go 1 win and 3 losses. They have a chance to show some of what they got, but I don't think they have enough, right? And Uganda, you frickin' Uganda. Who is not so happy to see Uganda qualify? I was was so happy, and that's nothing to say against, you know, Zimbabwe, but it's just nice to see some new blood in there, right? Come on. It's awesome. I was really happy. And I got a lot of comments from you guys saying that you were happy too. So this is their first official tournament. Uganda easily won the 2023 East Africa T20 Cup, going 11-1. And they only lost to one country, and that's Namibia. So they beat countries like Botswana, Kenya, Rwanda, Tanzania on the regular. So even though they get these wins from African teams, they're just not tested outside of that continent. So I think if they go up against teams like Scotland, Netherlands, Nepal, they're going to get crushed. They're going to get crushed bad. So my prediction for Uganda is 0-4, but I'll be rooting for them like crazy regardless. Maybe even if they play the United States. No, maybe not, but I'll be rooting for them big. Okay, so what do you guys think? Do you like these kind of videos? Is it helpful? I don't have a lot of specifics, but I will going forward as we get closer to the World Cup and we have more specific information about who's playing in the tournament. So like and subscribe. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for the idea, Nishankar TV. Thank you, DK, for all your help on my channel. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace. Hello.